Welcome to the one where they talk about friends, a podcast about friends. This is Regina Phalange.
And this is Ken Adams.
Today we're going to talk about Season 1, Episode 9, the one where Underdog gets away, which sounded like a pretty cryptic title to me, but we find out later. It's pretty literal. What happens on the episode, Ken, with the Underdog? Why is it called that?
The underdog gets away. So, and the underdog apparently is some comic character.
Yes, Underdog is a comic character.
And they have a giant balloon for of that character for the Thanksgiving parade in New York City.
Macy's. It's the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, watched all over the nation every Thanksgiving, except I think it's been canceled the last 2 years. But yes, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Okay, so it still exists. Interesting. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So they have this giant balloon in the form of this underdog character, and I guess the ropes got loose or something, so he flew away. And I guess this also is the pivotal point in the story where everything starts going wrong.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say. And I have no idea why they named the episode after this fact, because it's just this incidental fact that's discussed for 10 seconds.
It's just that incident, gets them all to go to the roof, and that's where everything goes wrong.
Oh, right.
Or not everything, but right, yeah. The whole blow up basically is the reason for that.
It contributes to the conflict in the episode. It's true.
I would even say triggers it because
it causes them to get locked out of the apartment in the middle of cooking a huge Thanksgiving dinner. So Monica has a complete meltdown because everybody wants a different kind of potatoes and they don't appreciate her making all those different kinds of potatoes. And Rachel gets them, in her opinion, Rachel gets them locked out of the apartment. So, yes, she's very unhappy.
So, I think overall this was an okay episode. Had a couple of funny moments.
It had some funny moments. It had some nice moments after they all stopped yelling at each other, or after Monica stopped yelling at them all.
But they were
they were behaving like children.
Yeah.
But yes, I would say all in all it was a nice Thanksgiving episode. Something I liked was that they were all kind of forced to be adults, which I think is kind of what the show's supposed to be all about. They were forced to have their own Thanksgiving because Ross and Monica's parents had the nerve to go to Puerto Rico for Thanksgiving. So yeah, they were, and yeah, Phoebe had no place else to go. Chandler had no place else to go. He doesn't, I guess,
Chandler didn't plan on celebrating with them.
Well, he didn't plan on celebrating at all. He boycotts all pilgrim holidays. They say.
I guess there's only the one.
And there's only the one, so that's the joke.
Yeah.
So yeah, he wouldn't have. That's true. He wouldn't have celebrated it at all anyway. And Joey can't go home because everybody thinks he has VD. That was another subplot, a kind of a weird but typically Friends subplot. Something I find funny, besides everything else about it, is that I think even back then they were calling them STDs. I don't know when I last heard VD. But apparently in 1995 on Friends, they were saying venereal disease and not sexually transmitted disease.
I think it was 1994 even.
It might be 1994. I think even back in 1994, it had generally become STD. So that surprised me a little, but whatever. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, that was a subplot that Joey ends up being a model on a poster about VD. And so it's all over the city, a poster that says, what Mario is not telling you. He has VD. It's horrible for him because suddenly he's just not the hot item that he usually is. Parents, this as a lot of things in Friends, his family, he spends Thanksgiving with the friends and not with his family because his whole family thinks he has VD. How could they be that stupid?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, I guess.
And why would they care?
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're not going to get it from him. And then another subplot is that Rachel wants to go skiing in Vail, and she needs $100 to do so. I don't understand. It must cost thousands of... first of all, to fly out there, because she's in New York. Vail is in Colorado. So she's flying out there, and lift tickets. I don't know. Maybe skiing was super cheap in the mid '90s.
No, $100 were for the airplane tickets, but I didn't realize it was, in Vail, Colorado, which I'm really thinking that in the mid-90s a ticket to Vail would have cost more than $100.
Yes, it was odd.
Especially in the holiday season. Because she's probably not the only one.
It's true. People travel like crazy at Thanksgiving. Yeah. Everybody goes home to their family.
That didn't make any sense.
Yet another subplot. Ross talks to Carol's pregnant belly, and he thinks it's weird to do so, but he does it just because Susan does it. But yeah, I guess that's all part of their conflict.
But then, while he talks to them, the baby moves, and that kind of is exciting.
It's true. That kind of brings them together, even though, in the first scene with Ross and Monica in this episode, she's being mean to him. As in at least
Ross
one
and
other...
Monica?
Ross and Susan.
That was actually clever. Like the way, he's being things. He says something stupid about lesbianism. And the remark that you have to take a course, that's really funny.
In any case, again, this animosity between them, although mostly it's Susan attacking him. And I always feel bad for Ross, even though Ross is... I find Ross in general to be a kind of a jerk. Susan is always mean to him, and I think she even calls him like a sperm donor, which I just think is so mean. They were married at the time. And he's not a sperm donor. They didn't go and get a vial of his sperm. It's just really mean-spirited, and I don't know why she is mad at him, because she's the one who's going to be the second mother to this child. It's something that those scenes always bother me, where Susan is attacking him for no reason. He has done nothing wrong, nothing.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
But yeah, Ross talks to his unborn child, and there's a lovely moment where the baby kicks and everybody is happy together for once.
Well, and it's supposedly it kicks because he's talking to it, so they're making a point of saying it's worth it, and he realizes that.
Right. I mean, I have to say though, I don't know why he was so against it in the beginning. I thought it was a known thing or a common thing, this idea of talking or to your unborn baby or playing music for it. I don't think this is so crazy.
Maybe not 25 years ago though.
Yeah, whatever. Thanksgiving, all these young people have to have a Thanksgiving together. It's kind of a new thing for them. It obviously is not an easy thing for everybody, especially Monica. She feels a lot of pressure. But in the end, I think the best part of the episode is when Chandler, who is anti-Thanksgiving to begin with, apparently, when he says, this is really lovely and I'm grateful for this. And that's really nice. That's a very touching thing. And that's as it should be. He should be grateful for the meal and for his friends.
Yeah. It is nice.
So that's about it. One more thing. The very end, where the credits come, where Joey sees one of his posters in a subway station, and he rips off the bottom of it in order to make it say something different, to use a poster underneath it. And I thought that was quite clever. And he rips it off, and it's always something that's just as bad as having VD. I think he rips off 3 posters until he gets to has won 3 Tonys, and then he's happy. And I just thought that was very funny.
That was very funny indeed. It was clever. Bladder control problems.
Hemorrhoids. Wife beating. Something about wife beating.
Yeah,
of all things.
Yeah.
Okay. Wrapping it up today on the one where they talk about friends. This is Regina Phalange.
And this is Ken Adams.
Bye.
Bye.